Hey, what is up, everybody? Here it is, Blade with my co-host Jeffrey. How you doing, Jeffrey?
Hey, I'm great. Thanks for having
There
me,
he
Blade.
is. He's in the other corner over there. Nope, I pointed the wrong way. Over there. You saw him wave. Excellent. So today, I thought we'd make a little bit of a tribute video. So those of you who may or may not know Agent Shadow, one of the most talented players in Rivals currently. He's actually ranked
hmm
2 on the ladder at the moment. This guy's really good at the game. Really strong player. He's been putting up a lot of tournament finishes as well, and he actually finished rank 1 last season with a dead tie with Nick Cool. I think they arranged it between them. I don't know what happened. I assume one of them made it to the same medals as the other, and message saying, "Hey, should we just tie?" Because they've been duking it out all season. But
hmm
yeah, made it to rank 1, tied with Nick Cool last season. I'll just take a quick look at his seasons page. You guys can check it out. Here he is, over 7,000 medals on GDI last season. That is a world record. No one has ever had over 7,000 medals on a single faction before. So yeah, really talented player. I thought we'd put a video together, take a look at some of his gameplay.
I think he's a really great player. The fact is, he's just so exciting to watch. He tends to use mechanics that other players don't really think of, and that's why he's at the top. Like, for example, dancing. That's one
Yep,
of the mechanics
yep.
that a lot of players
Very
know about,
famous
but
for
he
doing
just
that.
executes it so well, and that's what makes him such a great player. And we haven't seen him a lot in tournaments, but I fully expect he's going to be quite a splash for that. So yeah, this should be really exciting.
All right, let's get to it. Thought I'd just give you one of my own games to start us off with. And as you can see, Agent is on a Mammoth deck. Slightly weird one here, Jeffrey. What do you make of this deck?
I guess it's pretty similar to Air Mammoth, but instead of Hammerhead, he's running Pitbull, but he's got Mohawk and Razorback to support. So I guess the idea is that he's going to try and run a 5-card deck for most of the match, and then maybe if he wins the first missile, he's going to go for that Mammoth and basically try to push for a second or third. But it is kind of unusual. It's definitely not a meta choice for Mammoth at the moment.
Yeah, no, I have to completely agree with you on your assessment there. This looks very much like a 5-card Mammoth deck that is playing for first missile. It's not all in on the Mammoth. When you see a deck that's all in on the Mammoth, it'll normally have a much better anti-air unit to support that Mammoth. Tibble doesn't really fill that goal. So yeah, I think you're right. I think this is a Mammoth splash, like, rather than a true Mammoth deck. And I'm running a bit of a spicy one here as well.
Yeah, speaking of that, this APC is trying to get on the pad. Look at this dancing on the bottom pad. Lane drone's not even enough. APC just couldn't push on. Of course, its hitbox is not too great, and its speed is quite slow, so it's not great for holding pads. But yeah, there's Agent's great micro blocking the bottom pad and winning that first missile.
Yeah, and that's exactly the dancing you were talking about at the start of the video. That one missile squad holding all three tiles of that pad. He even managed to... I remember playing this game, the way he danced meant that his missile repeatedly took every single tile priority, which meant the Leandron couldn't even get a fix on that pad, which is why it hovered for so long without moving on. And yeah, I'm playing a little bit of a strange deck here. I wanted to try this one out. This is it's Peter 54 something 1-1's deck, I think his name is. It's basically just a Liang APC deck. Yeah, I wanted to try it out, see how it worked out. So yeah, I was giving it a go. And the deck is a little weak early, but it gets a lot stronger as you get into the mid game, which, as you can see here, I've started taking control, started holding this middle pad pretty well. And interestingly, Agent did not go for that second harvester after getting first missile.
That is shocking. Well, it may cost him this missile, even though he does have the pop cap. He doesn't have any units on the other two pads, so this Predator tank's just going to hold steady, and the APC, of course, doing what it does best, holding pads, secured that missile for Blade. However, this is Mammoth tank we're talking about, so I fully expect to see that coming out soon, but he's still a ways away from it.
Yeah, and Agent has not actually even opened up his air tower yet, which is very interesting, because you think that Mohawk would be something he'd really want to get access to, and it's considering how many vehicles I've been making.
Yeah, you're right, because Mohawk would be an excellent counter to the APC and the Predators, two of them now on the field. The Pitbull's trying to do a good job, though, chasing out the Borka, almost taking it down, but the Borka loses its load.
Yeah.
Oh, a little premature evacuation going on there. But the Borka is going to live here because the Pitbull won't get at it, and the Predator tank's taking it down is great. Can Agent steal this missile, though? We got the lane drone healing up the Borka so he can go for another run. These missiles are going to try and get onto that pad, but they're met by the tank. This APC doing a great job taking care of these missiles on the bottom pad, and Razorback sitting there, not doing anything, finally moves onto the pad. The Razorback won't be able to counter any of these two units, though, and now the Borka clearing that far left pad means that it looks like it's Blade's game, and oh, so close. Lane drone from Agent Shadow moves off the pad, though. Doesn't matter. APC clears it. Razorback's going to hold the pad for a little bit longer, but of course the Razorback on that bottom pad finally goes down to that APC, and there it is. Blade takes this game.
I do actually take that one against Agent Shadow. It's, yeah, like I say, the deck a lot stronger in the mid-late game. Surprised Agent didn't go into that tech. All right, and straight into the second game. So this one, we're looking at Bike Rush Owns, who a lot of you may know. Often rank 1 GDI, obviously not right now, because Agent has taken it from him. But yeah, Bike Rush, very well-known streamer and YouTuber, Twitch personality. And so what do you make of these decks? Who do you think's got the advantage here?
It's actually kind of hard to tell. So we've got Stealth Tank from Agent Shadow, which is going to do a great job dealing with Borka and Talon. Shade is actually pretty good against Pitbull and War Dogs. I don't know about APC though. What is that matchup like?
Yeah, I think the Shade is pretty good against the APC, but obviously the APC does drop those missiles, which are a great counter to the Shade. Bike Rush here has gone for the blind double, probably planning to spam Borkas and APCs, and this has allowed him to counter Agent's first 2 units with a single Talon, because he knew what he was up against before he made his first unit.
Yeah, it did seem that way because, I mean, this is kind of unusual what Agent did here. He built the Shade first, and that's the only unit in his air tower. So, I mean, Shade's a busted unit, of course, we know that, but regardless, it's pretty odd. So, yeah, I guess Bike knew what was going on here. He's got this far right pad. Of course, Agent's going to take the pad at the last moment. Grenadier's coming out. We'll be able to deal with those bikes, but nice movement from Agent Shadow coming onto that far right pad. Link Drone's going to hold on to that Pitbull, and what a flip! The talent just comes in! Oh, man, that was a great play from Bike.
Yeah, really nice flip with the Talon there, exactly on time. Manages to take out the unit on the bottom right pad and flips that missile with that Talon. Really nice play from Bike there.
Yeah, that was really well done. And you know what? I think Bike is just playing this game so well at the moment. Like, these Grenadiers are getting a decent amount of value. Not really doing a whole lot without any targets, but he's going to go after the Harvester. Fanatics boosted will clear them out. As we see, they're finally going to kill them. There they go. These missiles are also going to get cleared by these Fanatics. So now that Agent's got his full deck online, he should be able to make a pretty good comeback here.
Yeah, here comes the first Borka, though. This is going to really put a dent in Agent's plans. It's going to sweep up everything. Doesn't have the money for that stealth tank that he needs to counter it. Definitely looking a little awkward. Oh, Agent goes for bites and a boost. Never going to get to that stealth tank now. I think this might have been an error here, Jeffrey.
Yeah, that was 60 cost total, and only 40 more, and he'd have that stealth tank, which would have been a direct counter to the Borkas. So yeah, I gotta agree with you. I think that was a misplay. However, this missile's about to fire. Is Bike gonna take it in 2 missiles straight? We'll see. Can Agent come back? So it gets that Shade onto that far left. Harvester from Bike Wash will hold steady. Of course, the 4 hex pad will allow the Harvester to sit on the top without taking damage. And the Bikes are gonna clear that Talon. Lane Drone shouldn't do very good work, but this Grenadier is gonna clear the Bikes, and now he's got it with the emote. Oh, you'll love to see it.
There's the emote and the surrender, and Bike Rush does take that game. All right, and here we go straight into the third game. Copycat taking on Agent Shadow here.
Oh, Copycat. You love to see him playing these games too.
Love to see Copycat. Long-time member of Terminus Shores now. Big fan of Copycat. If you hang out on my Twitch, you'll see him moderating there quite often. Well, he's there. He doesn't moderate that much. But he's around. And Copycat goes for the blind double harvester. What do you make of that?
Well, I've talked to Copycat about this because he mentioned it to me before, and he said actually double harv with a lower cost deck's not a bad idea because APC and Orca are pretty expensive. So I think the idea is that he wants to be able to spam APCs, and that's basically all he's going to try to do. And then he's got enough money to have these Orcas, but I think in general, having less pop cap hurts you more than it helps. So I don't necessarily think it's the right way to go. But you look at Agent's deck, I mean, that's a pretty strong counter to what Copycat's running. He's got Stealth Tank, which is going to deal with 2 of the important units in his deck. But, you know, we'll see. So we got this first missile coming down. Shade doesn't know where to go. Goes up to the top pad. Finally, EMPs and almost clears the Pitbull. Of course, he can't fully get it down. So it looks like he might have this. Pitbull's got a sliver of health, clearing the Shade as well. And, oh what timing. Shade just doesn't make it there fast enough.
Yeah. Unfortunate for Agent there. That Shade does not quite get there in time. Interestingly, I believe the EMP did not affect the turret. It looked like.
Oh yeah, I think you're right.
So I think maybe the EMP doesn't affect structures, which is not actually something I didn't know prior to this video. So I'm not 100% sure on that. I might be wrong, but that's what it looked like to me.
Yeah, I think you're right because it's still fired afterwards. So.
Yeah. So Agent spamming those Shades there. He knows what's good for him. Looking to take down these APCs. I believe this is the plan Copycat was talking about, where he just has infinite money for APCs. So every time he has pop cap, he just makes an APC and sends it out, and you can see how much of a nightmare they are to clear for Agent Shadow.
Well, no kidding. Shade is a really good unit, but it's like you said before, the missile squads that pop out create a big problem. As we see there, the missile squad took down that Shade. These fanatics are there to clean them up as well, but Copycat's got all 3 pads. Can Agent make it in time? Stealthing's going to clear the pitbull, but it doesn't matter. He's got that bottom pad, but no, here we go. We're going to see a flip, and Agent's going to come back. There we go. So now those boosted fanatics actually do a great job of clearing those missiles and give Agent that missile. So
yeah,
can he take the 3rd one?
If you saw, Copycat was actually doing a little bit of his own dancing down there with those missiles, but not quite the master that Agent is. Didn't quite manage to pull it off, and does lose that missile anyway.
Yeah, he does, and you're right, he did try to, but of course the Fanatics were able to get their damage off and clear them in time. So now we've got 3 APCs on the field. Copycat with all the money in the world pulls a Harvester as well. This is actually proving to be a big issue, and I gotta say, I like Copycat's idea here, using that Harvester to camp pads, but then just using these APCs to deal with these Shades. They can shoot up, of course, but they don't do great damage, so I think Copycat might have this one.
I mean, there's so many APCs in the field. Agent is in, I don't know how he clears, like APCs and Harvesters. These things have so many hit points. This stealth tank on the bottom is just about keeping him alive by pushing Copycat's Harvester off, but I don't see how he gets back onto a 2nd pad here. There's so many problems for him.
Yeah, these thick APCs are doing a lot of work. So we got a boosted Stealthing coming out, take some incidental damage from that turret, unloads onto the APC. Pitbull's going to come and try to clear things up, but the Stealthing will respond. Of course, doesn't one-shot it, but doesn't matter. That's okay. Pitbull does get on there. Now Copycat's got 2 out of 3 pads. Oh, the Shade finally gets onto that pad, but it's not going to be able to hold against the missiles that come out of the APC, so that's not going to work too well for too long. Shade trying to clear the bottom right, but doesn't get there in time. APC moving forward. Is it going to get onto the pad? Oh, Agent doesn't dance for the first time ever, and now the APC's onto the pads, and that is game.
And there it is with the surrender once again, and congratulations to Copycat. Very nice win for him there. Interesting strategy with the double halves APC spam. Very unusual.
Yeah, it turned out to work very well.
All right, here we go. This is actually Agent Shadow versus, is that Reb, it looks like? I had your camera over
Blade on mine.
Oh, sorry, I had your camera over the name. It is in fact myself. Oh well, it is. Go me. I meant me, not myself. Yeah.
That's okay.
All right, so obviously, this is Middle Oasis. As everyone knows on Middle Oasis, you shouldn't go Harvester first, and this is why. Because I have gone War Factory opening, Agent's gone Harvester into rifles, which aren't useful, and I've gone double wheel opening. And look at this, absolutely punishing him for this this Harvester opening.
All the blocking in the world isn't going to save Agent from this. So yeah, Blade getting some great Harvester pressure here. He's going to get another volley off on the attack bike. Of course, the Danger proving to be a bit of an issue, so he takes it down. So that's great. Now he's got 2 bikes firing volleys off on the Harvester, and I believe Blade's going to get this Harvester kill. Not on this volley, but one more, and that should do it. And there it is. Okay, so Blade getting that bounty. Now he's got a lot of money in the bank, and he's going to build the Harvester. So there it is. And like you said, Blade, this is exactly what you need to do on Middle Oasis. So if you're not sure of what to do as far as strategy goes, this is exactly how you should play it. Not necessarily rushing, but not building the Harvester first.
Yeah, you should always get that scouting out first. If Agent had done that, he could have easily fended off any rush. I would have been forced to go Harvester myself, and then we both would have had Harvesters simply harvesting away, and it would have been a much more normalized game.
But so far, it looks like Blade, with that early pressure, is doing a really great job of pushing Agent back. He's got this Razorback coming out. Of course, Razorback going to be a very good counter to what's on the field. Stealth Tank coming out from Blade to respond. Nobody on that far left pad either. Bike's going to hold the pad. Missiles will get there, but they shouldn't clear in time. Stealth Tank will be able to hold that left pad, and this should be missile for Blade. There it is.
Yeah, build that Stealth Tank to go after the Razorback, but obviously, with the short amount of time to the missile firing, it's just time to put it on a pad and wait.
Exactly, yeah, and Razorback's got so much health that, you know, in terms of the missile firing, as long as you get it there within the, you know, the missile silo going off. But wait a minute. What?
Just a surrender.
Why did he surrender?
I guess the writing was on the wall. I mean, you know, that first Harvester goes down. He just gets pressured off the map. It's a bad time. And that's why you should not go Harvester first on Middle Oasis. Oh yeah, so this is the Reb game. The Reb is actually the thing Reb I would say is most famous for is he's the most aggressive missile charger I've ever played against. The guy is if you watch this, look at this dancing back and forth to keep the missile always charging. He is the most aggressive player I've ever played against. He's always doing this. Wow. He always wants the missile charging. Yeah, he never ever stalls. Like even when I think his deck should be stalling, I've never seen him stall. He's just insanely aggressive with charging that missile.
Well, and you know, a player like Agent Shadow is not he's known to use Mammoth tanks, so Reb could be considering that in this, and that may be why he's so aggressively charging. But actually, it's a good idea because he's running Borka, which has way better late game, and for Reb, who's running such a cheap deck with only Solomon as his expensive tool, that makes a lot of sense. So actually, it's not a bad strategy.
Yeah, and here we see Agent goes straight into Razorback, and Rev has basically the only unit in the game that punishes that strategy, which is Talon, and you can see it's absolutely dominating the battlefield right now.
Oh, but wait a minute, that lane drone gets on the top pad. Missiles are going to get to that bottom pad, but it won't be enough, and actually it's going to flip for a second. Oh, the Talon
it goes back.
Wow, that was really, really close there. That Talon on that far right pad was the MVP of that missile, that's for sure. But, unbelievable.
It's just over again.
Why would he surrender?
I guess he just thought he was going to get iron cannons on the bit. Anyway, well, there you go. Another loss, I guess. All right, so here we go. GG versus Agent Shadow.
Okay, so we're here on Middle Oasis again, like we talked about before. Going Harvester first is a bit of an error, and as we see both players doing that, I guess it's going to equalize that. Yep. So we're just going to see a more normal game as a result, but really what Agent should have done here is either rushed or scouted first.
Yeah, I agree. I do believe that in a GDI mirror, there's a little bit more leeway because they don't have attack bikes. It's a lot harder for GDI to pressure your Harvesters. You can get Pitbull Rush, though. That can happen, and it can really hurt you, so... I mean, sometimes you can lose to a Pitbull Rush. It's a lot harder than a Bike Rush to lose to, but... And even, like, Jump Jet Rush, so yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan of Harvester First, even in the GDI mirror, but it is a lot safer than against Nod.
And of course, GGG is playing his classic deck. He's got zones with Mammoth, running 2 air and 2 infantry. Yeah, and he's played this a lot. He loves his zone troopers. We all know that. Mammoth's sort of like an extra out. And he's gone double Harv here on Middle Oasis, which I got to say, it's going to be a bit difficult for him because of the fact that it's easy to pressure these Harvesters. But Agent, of course, is doing a great job so far holding the pads. He's got that Razorback coming out. He's not going to really do a whole lot with it, though, with these drone storms out on the field. And he needs a quicker option, which is going to be Pitbull. But he's not going to get there in time. He clears the drone storms. Link Drone's going to stall him. This gets the Razorback finally. Of course, air blocking is very difficult to do. And that gives Agent the first missile.
Very nice play from Agent there with the Leandro and the Razorback to get on both those pads and take that missile, because he was in a bad spot at the start of that, and he managed to take it. But here comes some boosted zones going straight for that Harvester. And Agent is not happy to see those. They did a lot of damage, man. That Harvester is almost down. GG does not want to push into these 2 Razorbacks. It's a smart play. He knows how dangerous the Razorback is. Waiting until more reinforcements arrive with this double zone trooper. And Agent goes triple Razorback. Oh, a misclick there from GG. Boosts his Harvester.
Oh no.
Here come the zones. And Agent tries to take them down with these Razorbacks. It's going okay. He gets one of them, but loses the Harvester.
Ouch. Yeah, that's certainly not good.
Agent.
Of course, in this case, with the economy starting to snowball, we're at 2 minutes now. The economy is almost at full ramp. It's going to be very easy for him to spam these zone troopers. That's exactly what he's doing. In fact, he's using them to deal with riflemen, which is just so egregious. But what? Oh. Another surrender.
Another surrender from Agent Shadow. I guess he just couldn't.
You know, he just got tired of it.
He just couldn't beat the zones anymore, I guess.
Yeah. Maybe it was the boosted Harvester.
Maybe. Alright, here we go. Another game. Blade versus Agent Shadow. This time I've got
This time
I've got the Rockworm and the Shade. I would like to make it clear that when I played this game, this was sponsored. I did not willingly choose to play the Shade. I was sponsored to play Shade because I would not do that normally. I think it sucks all of the fun out of the game. But I was sponsored, so I do have a deck advantage by virtue of having the Shade, but let's go into it from here. Obviously, a double Harvester here. I want to get them sweet Rockworms online.
100%. Now, tell me a little bit about the Rockworm with Shade, because I've heard people recommending this, and I gotta say, it sounds a bit unusual because Shade more or less fills the same role. So, what's the idea here? Is this just meme or?
It's just the standard Shade deck doesn't have any unit that stands very well on a pad for a long time, like high hit point unit. It's all cheap, low hit point units that do a lot of damage. So the Rockworm really gives you a bastion that you can stand behind, and the Rockworm in its current form is basically able of dealing with almost all ground units. So by having the Rockworm plus the Phantom, you can actually kind of beat everything. I think that's the idea behind it.
Well, Agent did a really great job taking that missile. Of course, the missiles on that far left pad were able to hold just long enough. The Venom could not clear them in time. It did a really good job of getting the 2v1s as well, which allowed him to hold that pad. But here we are. We've got Rockworm coming out.
The first worm. Get that straight boost on it. Here,
Yeah,
you'll
so
see,
you
here you'll
boosted
see
it
the
there, it's
power
on
of
the
the
pad.
Rockworm. Like, this is going up against 2 missile
Oh, my.
troopers. And look at this. It's absolutely disgusting. It's only lost half its hit points after going up against 2 missile troopers, which are really the hard counter. I mean, Rockworm should not be great versus infantry. So, yeah, Rockworm
That's
right now
true.
is very strong. But the problem is, as you see here, the utility, the moving it around is kind of a nightmare. So it's really just the stats on the unit that are so good.
Well, will Blade take this missile? He's got to if he's going to stay in this game. Rockworm going to clear those missile course. 2 Rockworms hold steady. That Phantom there coming to short things up, and Agent surrenders. Wow.
Surrenders again.
I mean, he had that first missile. I'm a little surprised, but okay.
No, he doesn't want to play anymore, I guess. All right, and I think this might be the last one in the video. Apologies if I'm incorrect on this one, but I believe this is the last one. Another Bike Rush taking on Agent, and it's the same deck from Agent that we saw last time he took on Bike Rush, with a single Shade as the only air unit. And Bike Rush has gotten a slightly weird deck. You know, I don't know what to say about this. That's a very strange deck.
It is. Yeah, he's got no missiles. He's running War Factory for his opener, and he's gone Double Harvest well, which is a little unusual. I guess with Bork and Zone Troopers in your deck, that's pretty expensive. So I guess from that point of view, it does make sense. But yeah, overall, with no missiles in the deck, that's very unusual. Oh, look at that. He actually stopped the Talon from firing.
Yes, that's the kind of dancing we're talking about, guys. Talon cannot move or fire. And yeah, if Bike Rush does again go Talon opening, I think maybe Agent should not be sending in these Shades at the Harvesters. They're kind of giving the game away a little bit. You might be better off just putting something on a pad and not letting Bike Rush know what it is, but...
Right.
Only a slight misplay there.
Yeah, the Shade is still alive, although it does finally go down to that pit bull, and we're pretty close to our first missile. We got 3 bike squads on all 3 pads. He's going to try and block Agent with that great dancing, but however, loses bikes on the bottom pad, and pit bull is going to clear that far right. So the Shade, I don't know if it's going to make it in time. It's really, really close. It will. I think it will clear the pit bull. No, not quite. Very, very close. It is going to be able to deal with the Shade, though. So it's going to actually be pretty challenging, but Agent finally clears the pit bull on that far right. He's going to be able to block with these bikes, and there it is. He takes the first missile.
Very nice first missile. A little bit uncharacteristic play from Bike Rush there. It had 2 pit bulls on that bottom pad. Either one of those could have moved off and potentially stalled. So yeah, a little bit unusual to see that misplay from Bike. But here comes the first Zone Trooper, and this is going to be a nightmare for Agent Shadow to deal with. He only really has those Fanatics, and Zones will actually beat Fanatics 1v1. You need 2 Fanatics to take on Zones, and a second Zone immediately. This is not looking good for Agent.
Yeah, this is kind of what we expected to see with the fact that he went double harvest at the beginning. That means he's got lots of money, and again, we're getting to the 2-minute mark. The 2:30-minute mark is when it's fully ramped up. So we're going to get there, and he's going to have all the money he needs to continue to spam these zones, and that's going to be really tough for Agent to deal with.
Man, look at that. Bike just doesn't care. He just wants that Harvester so badly. Sacrifices 2 Zone Troopers to get it. Here comes the first Borker. Oh! And I guess that's the end of the game. Alright. I guess Agent just saw a Borker and a Zone Trooper, and that was that. Alright, guys. And that it was the end of the video. The last one. Hope you guys enjoyed that. A little bit of Agent Shadow rank 1 player action. Hope you guys enjoyed that video, and thank you so much, Jeffrey, for co-casting with me. Hope you enjoyed that too, man.
It was a great time. I always love watching Agent games.
It's always good fun to watch an Agent Shadow game, isn't it? It's just the mastery of the game. It's really something. All right, well, thank you so much, Jeffrey, and thanks everyone for stopping by. If you enjoyed that, please hit that subscribe button, that like button, maybe drop a comment, and I'll see you guys next time.